So what I wanted to point out today is the deception that is in and around all of us. I'll take, for example, last year. Water is a necessity. It's a necessity for all life to flourish. What's really sad is that how some want to control even that commodity. At the top of that mountain is a well that was dug. And it wasn't very deep, just under 40 feet. But what was disturbing about that dig is what was done after the fact. You see, about 3 weeks to maybe even 4 months later, we were working on the borderline of the property. And to our horrid discovery, we came across some plastic. But you see, this is not any ordinary plastic. This is actually an oil, diesel, or some kind of oil byproduct plastic. I was walking along here, and right down there, where you see there's a concave and there's an old post, happened to be a 1 liter or 1.5 liter plastic container, upside down, pushed in the ground with the lid cut just enough to act as a leverage to open and close it. When I looked into the plastic, it pretty much didn't have a lid on its spout. Now, when you're putting oil into your car or your truck, there's that spout that's either protruding from either the left side or the right side of the plastic container. Well, that was forced into the ground, and it just so happens that this is the water vein for our well. So could it be a neighbor? Could it be a descendant or dissident, or somebody who just does not like you? Because they literally poisoned our water. You see, we had done tests, and the tests clarified that there was no lead and no iron in the water. But we took that same bottle to a different testing place, and they said there was iron in the water. So we had two conflicting opinions, and it was from the very same bottle that was actually drawn from the well on the day it was considered developed. Now, how disturbing does that get to you? Okay. For me, there is underground, there are water veins that basically you can find. This is how they've been looking for water for decades, maybe even centuries, called witching. You take 2 iron or lead pipes or iron pipes, or you take the tree branches off of a willow, and you walk in the direction of where you want, facing them parallel to the ground. That indicates when they cross that there is a strong or a weak water vein. So within 30 feet annually, you could find a great well and a great water source. I know from experience way back in the day when my parent had finally gotten the well dug out at the beaches, and it was such a thrill because, well, honestly, my mother is also one that believed water was the richest resource of the planet and never refused anyone water. At that time, if I remember correctly, they dug down about 60 feet. And my mom, with a little inspiration and a little what is the word? A little skepticism, asked the driller to go down deeper. And the driller obliged. Now, the reason she asked it to go down deeper is because the water was not exactly the best value and best nutritional value with minerals. I mean, water does have minerals, but some minerals are just not meant for consumption by the human body. Hence the direct attempt by this individual to poison us and our water supply, which is very dark. A person like that, well, can the law really do anything about it if they have no proof? Not likely. But there is a law that governs that kind of dissent, that kind of evil, and that kind of, well, rather mentally deranged individual. And that law is what we call karma. Karma, once again, as I've said time and time again on these videos, karma is your judge, your jury, and your prosecutioner. And we were fortunate to discover it as soon as we did, because for any amount of time, somebody would take time every day or every week, or at least until there was actually someone living here, and poison your water supply. That's just pure evil. And you wonder sometimes why they call it Satan's Creek or Devil's Creek. Needless to say, what they did was just horrendous. But fortunate for us, we have discovered it. Now, there's nothing saying that somebody won't try this in the future, or maybe have already, using other poisons to affect people who they don't like or might not agree with. It would be sad to know if there was people still out there in this day and age that believe that. I don't want to make this video too long, but when it comes to working with Earth, you work with Earth, not Earth working for you. It's a shared commodity, and it's planetary. So those out there who find control and dominance and ignorance and deception and manipulation and interrogation and other integrations of the human species should be utterly ashamed of themselves. So let me put this question to you. When I talk about all of this information, I talk about all of this dissidence, manipulation, interrogation, what do you think of? When I think about interrogation, well, I think that answers it all together. Because the human species is capable of so many evils. And in order to control the populace, or the majority, they go to great lengths to train those in power, or those with authority, to act just like that. They use it to descend on people who would rather not conform to the norm. And what they did, well, there's no conforming. That was the post office. Another one. Manipulating, interrogating, instigating. There's a very disturbing disturbing illness in the human species when it comes to dominating or interrogating or manipulating or, ostracizing, segregating. Just to follow up on another note, Saturday, we had farmers driving down Broadway on dissent of the Parliament in protests of the manipulation that the establishment is trying to create in this world domination. And I was given a gift while I supported their protest by giving them thumbs up and encouraging them to continue on, so that they're going to take notice. And the gift was a t-shirt. It was nice, like light blue, and on that t-shirt it said, "The Great Reset," but the Great Reset had a stroke through the reset, and underneath that it said awakening. So it's time to awake, and when you awake, you can live on Earth. You can be part of Earth. You could work with Earth. So for Up in Canada, I'm your host, Dominic Raphael, and we'll be releasing this video sometime this afternoon or this evening. So if you're interested, hit the like button. If you're wanting to leave a comment, please do. You want to start a conversation? I'm all ears. But if you want to be deceitful and deceptive, then I have no use for you. So, for all of those billions of fans lurking in the tree line and standing at the bus stop and on the street corners, and with every passing moment are glued to their telephones, almost like a signal of something approaching. I'll let you know right now, for those that are doing it, the only thing approaching you is karma. And karma, you'll answer to. Nobody else. So, for Up in Canada, Dominic Raphael. This is Working with Earth. So cheers.